It's a rare day here in San Diego when someone comes up with a possible solution to the ever-growing homeless crisis. But tonight, two local nonprofits have joined forces, and they are making an immediate difference. KUSI's Dan Plant joins us live from a canyon in Mission Hills with more. Hello, Dan.
Hello there, and both of these things tied together because the Lucky Duck Foundation and San Diego Canyonlands, as they join forces, they're not only helping homeless people, but they're helping all of our canyons. Here is evidence of some of the work that they've done over the past couple of days. As you can see, number one, they took out all kinds of invasive plants that would have created a huge fire hazard. And as you can see, they did the environmental tiering here so the hillside doesn't erode and, roll away during the rain. So this is really, really a wonderful example of some of the work that they have done. But the idea behind this is not only to do some landscaping out and around the canyons, which there are 24,000 acres of canyons in San Diego. I bet you probably didn't know that. But you're also teaching job skills for life for these folks. And for those people who actually embrace what's going on here, their lives are going to be changed forever starting today. Take a look at what's going on out here.
Some of our milkweed here that could use some weeding.
It's a one-of-a-kind program that's tackling two critical issues here in San Diego: the homeless crisis and restoring overgrown canyon lands to prevent wildfire.
Our mission is to prevent and alleviate the suffering of homelessness throughout San Diego County, and we're all about providing people with a bright, immediate pathway off the streets. And if we can couple it with employment that benefits the community, that's even better.
Not satisfied with the government's response to the homeless crisis, two local nonprofits have joined forces to fill the gap: the Lucky Duck Foundation and San Diego Canyonlands.
We've always said we're here to try to accelerate government, but we're going to refuse to operate at the speed of government. And so when Canyonlands and Lucky Duck Foundation can team up with a tangible program that's going to benefit the community, we don't feel the need to go out and ask government for permission. We're just going to move forward with it.
Without government red tape, this training program has moved forward at the speed of light comparatively. Each one of these people is either homeless or living on the edge. This program not only designed for job training, but life training.
This is the ECO Initiative, the Environmental Careers Opportunities Initiative. They're trainees. These are people who are transitioning out of being either at risk of or experiencing homelessness, and they're transitioning back into the workforce.
Using private money and personal passion, Lucky Duck and Canyonlands are making a difference, one person at a time.
It's changing their lives in many ways, and one of the things that I'm seeing from our current group of ECO, is what we call them, trainees, is that there's a dedication not only to the work they're doing, but to one another.
And along with building much-needed trust, these folks are also building a path off of the streets forever, a true life changer for a group of people who had little hope for the future.
And I'm hearing from our participants that for the first time in a really long time, they have a group that cares about them, that's checking in, and they have a purpose for coming to work and being outside.
Since this is a pilot program, the number of people in job training right now is relatively small. But these two nonprofits have big plans for the future.
The big plan is to take this pilot project and scale it up to hundreds of people out in the canyon every day who are going through a training program, and then eventually to launch a day work program where we're actually going to shelters.
Yes, so they do have big plans, and again, this is a small pilot program. You probably noticed there's probably 7 or 8 people involved in this first phase of it. But as you just heard from San Diego Canyonlands, the CEO there, Clayton, he says that they do have big plans to maybe do hundreds and maybe thousands of people eventually. Teach them job skills, teach them job training, give them something to actually hope for in the future, because we know there are 3,000 people at least living, and many of them dying on the streets of San Diego as we speak. They have no hope, they have no helping hand, and quite honestly, they're turning to even more drugs than they already took before. There are people dying at a rate of 2 people a day out on our streets. And of course, every level of government is having an impossible time trying to keep up with all the people that are going out on the streets and all the drug abuse and the mental health issues. It is an absolute humanitarian crisis that's going on out there. So these two nonprofits decided to join forces, bypass the government red tape, bypass the government roadblocks, and get out here and do it themselves. As they said, as you heard Drew Moser say, We're not going to ask for government permission to do this. We're just going to go out and help our community. By the way, if you'd like to help your community, LuckyDuckFoundation.org and, of course, San Diego Canyonlands, both of them are nonprofits. Both of them could use some help. And you probably know by now that the Lucky Duck Foundation has a $1.5 million matching grant program. One of the families here in town that started the Lucky Duck Foundation will match up to $1.5 million in donations from other people. So that could add up to be $3 million right there, if not more. And you know, $3 million in the hands of private industry and nonprofits can go a heck of a lot longer than $3 million through the hands of City Hall, the state capitol, or certainly the Capitol in Washington, D.C. $3 million is chump change, and clearly $3 million in the hands of the right people can do a lot of good, and that's what they're doing out here. Lucky Duck Foundation, San Diego Canyonlands, they want you to know they're out here doing some good. We're in Mission Hills in a beautiful canyon that was just redone. And it looks like the fire hazard is gone, at least for this particular area. And as everybody knows, we are in fire season. And in fact, the Santa Ana winds, I can still feel them on my face. With that, you guys, we'll throw it back to you.
Thank you for that report, Dan, and we will see you at 5.